find yourself a comfortable flat surface to lie on. Maybe a yoga mat on the floor, or even your bed. If you are lying down, which most people would, if you're lying on your back, in Shavasana, have your legs about hip width apart so your feet can open up to the sides, and have your arms slightly away from your upper body with palms facing up. Also make sure you cover yourself with a blanket so you can stay cozy and warm, as during Yoga Nidra your body temperature is likely to drop. So make yourself a cozy little nest now. And as your body begins to settle here and now, know that there is nothing you can do wrong in this practice. As there's nothing to do, and simply to be here resting is more than enough. There is nothing for you to achieve, no one to please, and no deadlines to meet. You can simply lie here and be, and you can stop doing. In Yoga Nidra, you can just be and invite in whatever arises, and your body will take from this practice exactly what it needs. And ideally, in the practice of Yoga Nidra, you will become so easeful and comfortable that you won't feel any desire for movement. But if at any point the body becomes uncomfortable, know that you're allowed to move. Just do so with a sense of awareness. And here at the beginning of the practice, it can be very helpful to check in with the external world, remembering where we are in space and time, having an awareness where your body is resting, this place in space on planet Earth, and also having an awareness of time, the time of the day, the time of the year, and even this time in your life. So you're sort of placing a little marker down, so it'll be easier for you to come back later at the end of the practice. It's also helpful at the beginning of the practice to take some time to consciously relax the muscles of the head and face. So notice your brows, allowing them to soften. Notice both eyes, they get heavy, falling back in the sockets. Check the cheeks, your nose, lips, your jaws, the chin and the throat, all soften and release. Connect to your mouth and allow the tongue to fall back from your teeth. The whole face completely relaxed. And as you lie here breathing, connecting with the breath, and with each breath as it comes and goes, you can allow yourself to settle and release more and more. Simply letting go and being held. Just letting go of the outside world and letting go of any ideas about yourself. And feeling held by the Mother Earth beneath us here. And we begin our practice as usual with an intention, with a simple affirmation telling ourselves a short positive statement called a sankalpa. So I invite you now to find a suitable statement which may help you to better your life or to invite positive change to your life. You may already work with a sankalpa, but if you don't and you find it hard to find one in this moment, I invite you to use today, I am whole. I am whole. So please repeat your intention, your sankalpa now, 3 times silently to yourself, with great conviction that it will become reality. And as we begin to investigate the various layers of our being, the human being, we begin with the awareness of the physical body. So we're going to practice sensing and feeling the physical body, feeling your body as sensation and simply welcoming anything that arises. And we start the practice of sensing the body today by bringing the awareness to the space in between the eyebrow center point. Sensing and feeling here. And then allowing awareness to move down to the space in between the collarbones, that soft space at the base of the throat. Simply feeling, simply noticing, and from there allowing the awareness to move over to the right shoulder, down to the right elbow, right wrist, and then into the right palm. Feel your right palm as sensation. Feeling all sensations in the palm of the hand. And then noticing the tip of the right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Then sensing again the right palm, wrist, and moving awareness back up to the elbow, shoulder, and then back to the soft spot at the bottom of the throat. And then allow your awareness to flow over to the opposite side, to the left shoulder, elbow, noticing the left wrist, and then awareness at the center of the left palm, feeling sensations in the left palm, and then becoming aware of sensations in the tip of the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Awareness now back in the center of the left palm, wrist, and back up to the left elbow, shoulder, and back to the point between the collarbones. And from here, allow your awareness to move down to the space of the heart, behind the center of the breastbone. Feeling into this vast space of the heart. And then notice the right chest, and then back to the heart center. Then feel the left chest, and again back to the heart center. Your awareness now moving down to the belly, the navel center behind the belly button, sensing and feeling here. And then allowing awareness to flow down to the base of the pelvis, this place in the body where we can sense our rootedness and groundedness. Feeling the body resting here. And then allowing awareness to move to the right hip and down to the right leg, to the right knee, ankle, into the sole of the foot, sensing the top of the foot, and then noticing the sensations in each of the toes of the right foot. Big toe, second, third, fourth, and fifth toe. And now feel the whole right foot full of sensation, and flowing the awareness back up through the right ankle, knee, hip, and back to the base of the pelvis. Simply feeling, simply welcoming anything that arises. And from there, allowing your awareness to travel to the other side, the left hip, down the left leg to the knee, ankle, into the sole of the left foot, feeling sensations in the sole of the left foot, and noticing the top of the foot, sensations in all the toes of the left foot, the big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. Feel the whole left foot as sensations, and back up to the ankle, knee, hip, and back to the base of the pelvis. From there, we bring awareness up the body one more time, and as we do it, have a feeling as if you could fill the space inside of the body with the light of conscious attention. Filling the body from the inside out. And start this at the place in the base of the pelvis, and allowing awareness to fill the whole pelvis bowl. Notice all sensations in the pelvis, and then up to the navel center, and filling the whole space of the lower abdomen and belly with the light of your conscious attention. And then rising up into the space of the heart, and allowing the awareness to fill the upper torso, the rib cage, the lungs, and the heart, filled with the light of conscious awareness. And then moving up to the space between the collarbones, feeling the shoulders filled with this light, and also the throat and the neck, simply feeling and sensing. And then moving up to the eyebrow center point again, and going back into the center of the head, filling the whole head with the light of conscious awareness. Now the whole torso and head filled with this light, just noticing all sensations, feeling the whole physical body. Cultivate a whole body sensation now. Sense and feel your whole physical body, from the crown of your head down to the tips of the toes. Sensing all the fingers, the whole body, the legs, the whole body. There's no way that you can do that wrong. simply experiencing the body here and now. And today we will also explore some spaces between. First, I'd like you to notice the way the body connects with the ground, noticing the space between the body and whatever it is supporting you. Just this space in between body and support. And then notice the space in between your lips. Notice how the lips are touching, and then noticing the space in between the eyelids. And then the space between the lips and how they are meeting. And then the space between the body and the floor. And then again the space in between the eyelids. Just exploring these spaces with awareness. And then notice the space in between the fingers, all the fingers and the spaces between them. And perhaps if some fingers are touching, notice how they are meeting each other. Exploring now the spaces in between all of your fingers. And then do exactly the same with the toes. Notice the space in between all your toes. And then notice the space in between the legs. And the space between the arms and the torso. All of those in between places. And also remembering now that the space of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra, is the space in between being asleep and being awake. Here, just noticing these spaces between the body parts, and notice how being aware of sensations inside the body is essentially no different from noticing the spaces surrounding the body. Have your awareness inside and the awareness outside. The same awareness. And then bring awareness back home. Back home to the space of the heart. Again, sensing and feeling in that heart space. The more we practice sensing here, the more we become in tune with our whole being, with the wholeness of ourselves. So much can be learned by just sensing into this place in the body. So for the next minute or so, simply be here, aware and present in the space of the heart, welcoming anything that arises. And next, I'd like to invite you to explore a pair of opposites. Today, we're working with awake and asleep. In this moment, from the outside, someone might mistake you as sleeping. Your body is very still, the breath even. And just notice this quality of resting here and now. Remembering maybe even what this quality of sleep feels like. What it feels like to be resting here. Just this awareness of almost sleeping. And allowing this to fade, and consider being awake. Being able to direct your conscious attention. Knowing what it is like to be awake and aware. Present here in this space of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra. What is it like to be awake and aware? What does it feel like in your body? Just explore this for a moment. And then consider, what would it be like to feel both awake and asleep at the same time? What would it be like to be both asleep and awake simultaneously? And is that even possible? And if it was possible, what would that be like? Just exploring that for a moment. And then allow that exploration of opposites to fade, and again come back home to the space of the heart. Simply sensing, simply feeling. And next, I'd like to tell you a short story. A story about a girl named Sue. When Sue was a very young girl, she used to play outside in the woods, by herself some days, alone some days, and some days with friends. And this time was a very magical time for Sue. When Sue was young, just being outside in nature was as if magic was everywhere. The trees and the plants and the animals, the sounds of the birds singing. It was like every moment she could hear music. And it was as if everywhere she looked was the most beautiful part. The sun shining through the trees, the flowers blooming in the springtime. All this would always capture her full attention. And sometimes when Sue was in the forest alone, the fairies would come out for her and play with her, and they would teach her the mysteries of the forest. But as Sue grew older and went to school and then to university and eventually got a job, she wouldn't spend so much time outside anymore. And then Sue forgot about the magic. Her awareness would become trapped in the news of the world and what people think. Until one magical day, Sue's friend, she took her for a hike through the woods up to the most beautiful view. And they planned both to be there for sunset. And as Sue and her friend, they watched the sun setting across the earth. It was the most glorious sight, more beautiful than any work of art could ever capture. And in that moment, she remembered the magic which is always there. It's just a shift of perception away. And allow this story now and these scenes to fade and tune into the quality of simply being. Being presence, being awareness, being welcoming. Welcoming anything that arises. Welcoming the totality of your being. Simply to be here is more than enough. Notice the fact of awareness itself and notice the ability to simply be aware. As the teachings of yoga tell us that the fundamental quality of awareness itself is joy. The joy of awareness, and that anything that seems to bring us joy from the outside is simply borrowing this joy, which is always there. So notice here, in the openness of awareness that is Yoga Nidra, what access do you have to joy? And can you feel joyful now? In this moment, for no reason. And how in your life can this joy of awareness begin to bubble up? Where would that be possible? And also notice here and now any quality of ease, peace, or equanimity that you feel right now as you're rested and settled here. And know that even now your subconscious mind is making the necessary adjustments and arrangements so that this peace you feel here will begin to be available to you once you navigate to the so-called external world back. And as we begin to turn awareness outward once again, we will step through each layer of our being, noticing at first the inherent potentiality of your being, all the potentials that exist inside of you. Be aware of this potentiality. And then notice the flow of universal life force energy pulsing through your being. With each breath, with each beat of the heart, a manifestation of this universal life force energy. Feel all the energy moving through you right now. And also notice the mind, your mind and its capacity for thought. And notice also your heart and its capacity to feel emotions. Noticing how all thoughts and emotions arise and subside inside of awareness. And again now become aware of the physical body, your whole body. Your body lying on the floor, resting here. Feel your whole body here and now. And know that this practice of Yoga Nidra will soon come to an end. So it is now once more a good moment to reconnect back to your heart. And with the connection to your heart, we will remind ourselves once more of your intention, your sankalpa, planting the seed one last time in your body and your soul. So repeat your affirmation, your sankalpa, 3 times silently to yourself now. And imagine this time it has already become true. So once more becoming aware now of all the contacts your body has with the ground below. The connection between your heels and the floor or the bed. Connection between your legs, your buttocks, your back, your shoulder blades, your arms and hands, the back of your head. Also awareness at the front of the body where you can feel the connection between your clothes and the skin, your cover, maybe even feeling the soft touch of the air on your face. And then allowing in all sounds you can hear from the outside and from the inside. The sounds your own body makes, the sound of your breath. And as we start to externalize our awareness, allow your breath to become deeper. On each inhale, allowing in all the positive things you like. Breathing in happiness, happy thoughts. Breathing in energy, vitality. And when we exhale, we allow all the things we no longer need to be returned to Mother Earth. So allow on the exhale any negative thoughts, any tension to be released. Deepening the breath even more now. Externalizing and reconnecting to a more day-to-day awareness. Leaving the awareness of Yoga Nidra behind, knowing that it's always there for you whenever you need. Now, slowly allowing some movement, some gentle movements back into the body, allowing some gentle wiggles of your toes and fingers, wiggle, wiggle, and then slowly, when you're ready, increasing the movement slightly, maybe allowing your head to move from side to side. You can yawn, you can do whatever feels good, allowing yourself to reconnect to the external world. As this practice is now complete, this practice is now complete. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Tat Sat.